Do you hear that? No? Listen closely. It's there, just beneath the quiet, like a soft rustling. I've been hearing it for weeks now, and every night, it's getting louder. At first, I thought it was nothing, maybe the wind, or my imagination playing tricks on me. But then I realized, it's not the wind. It's something else. You see, I moved into this house a few months ago. An old, creaky place tucked away at the edge of town, surrounded by thick woods. The kind of house that feels like it has its own pulse, its own memories. You'd think I would have been freaked out living here alone, but at first, I wasn't. It felt quiet, peaceful even. Until that night. The first time I heard it. I was lying in bed, the house completely still, when I heard this faint sound. Like something brushing against the floor, or something dragging. I sat up, straining my ears, convinced I'd imagined it. But no, there it was again. Faint, but there. A soft scraping, just below me. The basement. I'd never really paid much attention to the basement. I had no reason to go down there. It was cold, damp, and filled with the previous owner's junk. Boxes stacked to the ceiling, old furniture, tools, things that hadn't seen the light of day in years. But that night, something felt different. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was down there. But I didn't go. I locked my bedroom door, convinced it was a mouse or maybe just the house settling. I told myself I'd check it in the morning, that there was nothing to be afraid of. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. The next night, it happened again. The same sound, only louder. And this time, it wasn't just scraping. I heard footsteps. Soft, deliberate, pacing beneath the floorboards. Slow, like someone was waiting. My heart raced, but I still didn't go down there. I just lay there, frozen, trying to ignore it. But it didn't stop. Every night, the sound grew louder. Closer. The footsteps weren't just beneath me anymore, they were moving up the stairs. Slowly. One step at a time, like whoever, or whatever, it was, knew I was listening. It would stop at the top of the stairs, just behind the basement door, and then, nothing. Silence. For hours, I'd lie awake, staring at my door, waiting for something to happen. But nothing ever did. Until 3 nights ago. I don't know why I decided to do it, but something inside me snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to know what was down there. So, I grabbed a flashlight, crept out of bed, and made my way to the basement door. It felt cold. Ice cold, like something was pressing against it from the other side. My hand trembled as I reached for the knob, and for a split second, I hesitated. But I opened it. And the sound stopped. Just like that, gone. I stood there, staring down into the darkness. The steps were steep, disappearing into blackness. I couldn't see anything past the 3rd step. But I had to know. I had to see. So, I stepped down. The air grew thick as I descended, the flashlight barely cutting through the darkness. The basement was colder than it had ever been. My breath came out in shaky puffs of mist, and the hairs on my arms stood on end. But I kept going. And then I saw it. In the corner, behind a stack of old boxes, was a door. A door I had never seen before. It was small, wooden, with deep scratches carved into the surface, like someone, or something, had been trying to claw its way out. My heart pounded in my chest, but I couldn't stop myself. I had to know what was behind it. I reached for the handle. It was rusted, old, like it hadn't been touched in years. And as I pulled it open, the smell hit me, rotting wood and something else. Something worse. The door creaked open, and inside, there was nothing. Just an empty room. But the walls were covered in scratches, deep gouges, like someone had been trapped in there, trying to escape. And then, I saw it. On the floor, near the back of the room, was a piece of fabric, torn, dirty, and covered in blood. That's when I heard it. The scraping. The dragging sound. Only this time, it wasn't beneath me. It was coming from behind me. I spun around, the flashlight shaking in my hand, and there, at the top of the basement stairs, stood a figure. A shadow. Just standing there. Watching. It didn't move. Didn't speak. Just stood there, its face hidden in the darkness, staring down at me. I don't remember how I got out of that basement. I just ran. Ran out of the house, into the woods, as far away as I could. I haven't been back since. But here's the thing. Every night since then, I still hear it. Even now. The scraping. The footsteps. And sometimes, I swear I can see it. Standing at the edge of the woods. Watching. Pause. Do you hear that?